Hey guys, spiritual experience I'm doing. This one happened in Vancouver Island. So I was with we were in Vancouver. We just arrived after 3 months trip on a Greyhound. Back and forth, up and down around Canada. We took a 3 month trip on a Greyhound to explore Canada and see all the things to see. Me, my friends, my sister. Then we ended up in Vancouver, got a place, went to Vancouver Island, and we got a free ride to Tofino. But the people that were taking us were protesting the trees, okay? Not protesting the trees, but the logging of the trees by McMillan Bodell, this evil company that just destroys everything while they can. So, well, as far as I'm concerned, they are rotten, but whatever. Be that as it may, we get into Tofino. We go down this long ass road across the island. We come over this little hill, and it's like dusk. It's very dark, getting really dark. And we come over this hill, and we just saw trees for like an hour. We come over this little hill, and there's like a war zone going on in the middle of the street at the bottom of the hill. And there's like cop cars and people on the streets banging signs and everything. It was weird. Kind of freaked me out. So anyway, as we're driving up, something interesting happened, which I can relate now. As we were driving, we were like, okay, from our perspective, we were up on top of a hill. You look down and you can see like this big, like a war zone going on in the middle of the streets. All right? And it was way down there. I don't know, quarter of a mile. It would have took you 10, 15 minutes to walk it. All right? As we were approaching, rocks started hitting our car. Okay? Could have been people from the protest, loggers or whatever. It was loggers versus hippies protesting the logging of the trees. But as we were approaching, we were like 10 minutes away, and it's dark out, and it's getting dark. I mean, the sky is like a blue, like a dark blue. The sun's almost completely gone. So it was like 11:30, no, 9:30, 10. Okay, but the rocks hit the car, and I thought Bigfoot, right? So I'm a Bigfoot guy. I'm thinking rocks are hitting the car as we're coming into this little war zone down there. And rocks are hitting the car. I'm like, Bigfoot, right? I'm assessing the situation, what's going on. Anyway, we get into the protest. We get in there, pull over, get out of the car. Everybody's talking about the rocks that hit our car. One guy even told the cops they're throwing rocks at the car. I'm thinking, no, that's Bigfoot, man. But this is before people online talked about Sasquatch throwing rocks at cars, or people when you're walking in the woods. Either way, it was a really dynamic situation going on, so if Sasquatch was throwing rocks at the cars, I don't know. I mean, if I was a Sasquatch, I would be, I'm like, get the hell out of here, right? So anyway, that was just something I added up right now. Anyway, we get into this protest, it goes on, and then next day, we're staying with the protesters, so the cops leave, the rednecks leave, the shotguns, the loggers leave, and we're down here, we're staying with the hippies to protest, because we got a free ride to go there, and this is where they were going, so here we are. I mean, I didn't care. I'm like, save the trees right on, let's do it. Right? I love it. I love the forest, right? I'm all for the forest. You know, for me, logging and destroying a forest for toilet paper for China, just wrong, okay? Sorry your job's getting taken away, but oh well. Go find somewhere else to work. That's what everybody else does. And the companies that hire the loggers get contracts or whatever when they can. Just get the contract, log the hell out of it. I mean, literally, log the hell out of it. As much as they can until the contract's up. And then move on. As far as I know, it's all, you know. Anyone in their right mind would not destroy what that forest looked like, okay? As far as I was concerned, or any forest. Not at the level they were. I mean, whole mountainsides gone. Whole mountainsides, whole mountains. Mountain ranges gone, destroyed forever. Because, and it is destroyed forever, because once you log the whole mountainside, all the topsoil runs down the mountain and you got bare rock. It took hundreds of thousands of years for this topsoil to build up to grow the mountain, to grow the trees. You cut the trees down, topsoil goes, and it's bare rock, no more trees. So you got a whole mountain that's bare. They clear cut the valleys. It washes into the salmon streams, destroys the salmon streams. Salmon streams are useless. I can go on and on, but that's not the point of this video. Anyway, so I'm there protesting. If you like it or if you don't, it doesn't even matter. This is about the spiritual experience I had. So we're there one night and we're having this powwow, I guess, the hippies. So everybody's sitting around talking and go, okay, come back at, we're all at our little campsite setting up our tent there. So, they're like, come back at the campfire, in an hour. We're going to have a powwow to discuss the situation for the night or whatever. So we do. And we come back. And me and my sister, my friend, we're from Ontario, and this is British Columbia in the middle of nowhere. And the whole place is hippies. Not all of them. There's other people like rednecks out there, and old grandmas and old people, and moms and dads and normal people. But most of them are like hardcore hippies. So we come to this campfire to have this powwow, talk about how the death threats are going to come back in the middle of the night and kill us, what we're going to do about it. And I'm like, well, I'll fight, right? And so we sit down, we walk out there and sit down, and over half the people are naked, sitting around this fire. And I'm looking at my sister, I go, hey, taking off your clothes? She punched me in the ribs, which was really funny, I thought. I go, you want me to take off the clothes? Anyway, we do that. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, we're all gonna get shot by the loggers, and all the hippies think about are smoking doobies and sitting around naked. I was like, fucking blow my mind. You're about to die, I go, maybe that's a deterrent, or maybe that's another reason to kill you. All right, just sitting around a campfire naked to a bunch of loggers. Well, that don't fly too well. Anyway, I laughed about it. And the whole topic was, what are they going to do when the loggers come and shoot us tonight? They said they were all going to come back with guns and fucking shoot us right in the head. Bury us out in the woods. I mean, I'm like, that's a threat, but you don't know, right? And they're all saying, well, we should do the Buddha thing where you just sit and protest, and eventually they'll leave. And hopefully no one gets shot. And so I'm like, well, maybe that works in politics while you're on CNN, but we're out here in the middle of nowhere, all right? This is the woods, okay? That shit don't fly with me. And I'm like, I got to take care of my sister, and that's all there is to it. And of these stupid hippies, because they're just little girls, little tiny girl, like 16-year-old girls sitting around naked smoking pot. I ain't gonna witness some loggers raping these little kids. Ain't gonna happen. So that's the way I'm thinking about it. And I just can't. So I ain't. So I'm like, oh, geez, get me through this one, right? I never said that. This was long before Christ consciousness. Jesus Christ came and everything. So anyway, we're sitting there. After the powwow was done, nothing was solved, but me and my buddy, we're ready to fight. Me and another guy goes, well, I ain't sitting around letting these kids get killed. And just because they're not smart enough to fucking know any better. To the ringleader girl, which she wasn't really a ringleader, but she was the head of the organization, right? But she wasn't in control, and you could do whatever the fuck you want. And I'm like, and the guy goes, well, I'm ready to fight, because they ain't coming back and doing anything to these kids. And they ain't doing anything to me. And I'm like, I'm with you, right? We don't have no weapons. I don't have no weapon. Nothing, not even a knife. So I'm like, okay, well. after the powwow was over, everybody went back to their little campfires and huts and whatever. And I was hanging out with my buddy. And then I went up, they had a fire going at the road. Now we're at a lake. And there's a big blank treeless area of a road that runs up to the main highway. And they had a fire going on at the main highway. And so I was gonna go check out and see what's going on. It's like midnight almost, something like that now. So I go up to the fire and they got a fire going, I think in a barrel maybe, some kind of fire going. And so I'm talking to the guy and I go, hey, what's going on, man? He goes, oh, nothing yet. A couple cars went by, but they were just tourists. And no rednecks with guns or anything. He goes, we're keeping watch, don't worry. And I'm like, cool. So I'm just standing there shooting shit with them about stuff. And all of a sudden this truck comes down the highway, comes over the hill on our right from the town of, well, Ucluelet is that way, and then that way. We're somewhere in there. Anyway, so I'll put a little map here. So this pickup truck goes flying by, 2 guys in it. Right? And we're like, oh, fuck, here we go. Yeah, so they get up to the other top of the hill and they turn around and they start come flying back, right? I'm standing there right on the side of the road. Buddy's standing on the other side of the barrel. And this fucking pickup truck comes flying up, right? And this is where the spiritual experience comes, which reason I'm making this video. So the pickup truck comes flying up and it stops right here at me, right? So there's a driver, and I'm looking at the driver and the passenger. The window comes down, and I can hear they're drunk. They're going, fucking shoot that fucking, right? And they're drunk and they're slurring. They're drunk, these 2 fucking rednecks. And the window is down. Anyway, it was either coming down or it was down. I think they rolled it down. Anyway, the guy driving was a white guy. Looked pretty much like me, but a lot worse. The guy with the gun was the native guy. He was a Native American. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, really? I don't know, really? I couldn't believe it, you know, it's because, I don't know, the stereotype in my head that Native people don't really want to go out and kill people with a white man, you know. That was after the fact, but at this point, I still couldn't figure it out. Usually the Native people, you know, love their trees and love their nature and love their way. And really don't want to side up with a white guy in a job issue to protect the fucking tree, right? I thought that was kind of strange. Next thing I know, the truck pulls up, he on his lap goes and points a gun right in my face. Points a gun. Now I don't know if it was a shotgun or a rifle. But as soon as that gun landed right in my face, I left my body instantly. Like, I'm looking down the barrel, and he's fucking goddamn, like that, screaming at me and all that. I'm looking down. The car I'm looking down at is like this big. I see a road going this way. I see the road going this way. I see this, all this, and it's all highlighted. And I can even see myself with the gun in my face, looking down at it. The whole scene. I'm like 10 stories high. I'm looking down at it. I'm totally not in my body. I was totally gone. And I'm looking down at it. The whole scene. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm just when I started adding it up. Just as I started adding it up. Oh, what the hell? I'm like, am I astral traveling? What the hell's going on, right? Just as soon as I started questioning it, I came back to my body. And he goes, you better fucking leave, blah, 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 blah. Puts the gun away, and then they gun it. They spin the tires and take off and spray us with gravel and take off. And I'm like, the guy runs over, he's like, holy fuck! He runs over and starts hugging me, he goes, are you alright? Are you alright? I'm like, oh, I don't fucking know, man, I'm just freaking the fuck out. And I go, I just astral traveled, man. He's like, you did not. I go, I did. I astral traveled. And he's like, holy shit, I thought you were fucking gonna kill you, man. I'm like, yeah, me, you and me both. And anyway, we're fucking sitting there freaking out around this campfire, me and this guy. And all of a sudden, I hear a noise in a tree. I look over, and up in the tree, I hear, I got it. And all of a sudden, this fucking hippie falls out of the tree. And he gets up and he goes, he runs over to us. He goes, I got it on video camera. And we're like, and he's like, the other guy knew he was up there, but I didn't know he was up there, right? He comes falling out of the tree. He's like, I got it on videotape. And I'm like, fucking hippies are falling out of the trees here. I was laughing my eyes off. And so we watched it. And he was up in the tree and he filmed the whole thing. He got the license plate. He got the gun sticking in my... You could hear the words clearly, everything. And the tree wasn't that far away. It was like right there. So, but I didn't know, right? Anyway, that was pretty fun. So anyway, they got in a car. They drove to a police station in Ucluelet. I guess where these guys were from, somewhere like that. And that's where all the loggers lived. And fishermen guys. And wish this thing would work right. And that was my spiritual experience. I don't know, sorry, the camera's fogging up or whatever. Anyway, they went to the police station, reported it to the cops, showed the cops. The cops came back a day later, told us that, yep, they were arrested. They got their, for putting a gun in my face. The gun was loaded, I guess. They got their whole bunch of shit and punishment, put in jail and all this shit. All their gun licenses taken away. So anyway, that was in Vancouver Island, one of my spiritual experiences, and that's what happened. A real short version of what happened. And that's about it, guys. So keep this video short.